Reply please. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay. Silent please. Today discuss important topic, transverse myelitis. Transverse myelitis is a pathogenically heterogeneous focal inflammatory disorder of spinal cord. Transverse myelitis is basically disease of spinal cords characterized by acute or subacute development of motor weakness. Motor weakness means paralysis of both lower limb or upper limb, and sensory impairment. Important is sensory impairment and autonomic dysfunctions. Sensory impairment is not seen in Guillain-Barré syndrome. Is a rare acquired neuroimmune spinal cord disorder that can present with rapid onset of weakness. Transverse myelitis is a rapid onset of weakness, sensory alteration, and bowel and bladder dysfunctions. Transverse myelitis is found exact sensory level. That is important. Myelitis means inflammation of spinal cords. Transverse means simply position of the inflammation that is across the wide of the spinal cords. Epidemiology, incidence between 1 to 8 new cases per million per year. Affect people of all ages with a range of 6 months to 88 years. Bimodal peak between the age of mainly seen in 10 to 19 years and 30 to 39 years. Mainly transverse myelitis found in young adult. Approximately 25% cases are in children. There is no gender or familial association with transverse myelitis (TM). It is estimated about 1400 new cases of transverse myelitis are diagnosed each year in the other states. Transverse myelitis means demyelination or axonal injury or necrosis of spinal cords, demyelination and axonal injury or necrosis of spinal cords. Etiology mainly infectious, non-infectious inflammatory type and idiopathic. Infectious causes, the most important is viral. Enterovirus, mainly group A and B, Coxsackie, poliomyelitis, and other viruses. Other is herpes zoster, AIDS, important Epstein-Barr virus, cytomegalovirus, herpes simplex, rabies, arbovirus like Japanese and West Nile, HTLV1, human T lymphotropic virus, and tropical Staphylococcus. These are the important viral etiology, mainly enterovirus, group A and Coxsackie, herpes zoster and herpes simplex, Epstein-Barr and cytomegalovirus. Second is bacterial, fungal and parasitic causes of transverse myelitis. Mycoplasma pneumoniae, Lyme disease is caused by Borrelia burgdorferi. Pyogenic myelitis. Pyogenic myelitis may be acute epidural abscess and granuloma formation, abscess of spinal cords. Pyogenic abscess or pyogenic myelitis is mainly caused by Streptococcus and Staphylococcus aureus. Next causes is tuberculous myelitis, syphilitic myelitis. Parasitic and fungal infections produces epidural granuloma, localized meningitis, meningomyelitis, and abscess, especially certain form of schistosomiasis. Schistosomiasis causes transverse myelitis. That is important. Non-infectious inflammatory type causes post-vaccinal myelitis, acute and chronic relapse and progressive multiple sclerosis. acute and chronic relapsing or progressive multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is also associated with transverse myelitis. Subacute necrotizing myelitis or David disease. David disease means neuromyelitis optica. Neuromyelitis optica NMO. David disease also known as neuromyelitis optica. Is important for MCQ. Myelopathy with lupus, SLE, other connective tissue disorder, and paraneoplastic myelopathy. Most important cause is traumatic. Traumatic causes transverse myelitis lead to Brown-Sequard syndrome. Idiopathic causes systemic autoimmune disease like SLE, antiphospholipid syndrome, microvascular thrombosis, and multiple sclerosis. All causes multiple sclerosis, multiple myelitis, SLE, antiphospholipid syndrome, microvascular thrombosis. Immunopathogenesis. Pathologic heterogeneity with involvement of both gray and white matter of the spinal cords. Or transverse myelitis is not a pure demyelinating disorder, but rather a mixed inflammatory disorders that affect neuron, axon, oligodendrocyte, and myelin. Autopsy report described lymphocytic inflammation with demyelination and axonal loss. 30 to 60% of idiopathic transverse myelitis cases are seen. Symptoms. Clinical features are symptoms of transverse myelitis. Symptoms typically develop rapidly, acute onset over several hours. Approximately 37% of patients worsen maximally within 24 hours. Some cases worsen more slowly over several weeks. Clinical presentation is described 4 symptoms group: motor system, sensory, found exact sensory level, autonomic, and pain. Clinical presentation is a combination of sensory, motor, and bladder symptoms. Features of spinal cord lesions is a band-like sensation. Band-like sensation means pressure or pain, numbness over the trunk or abdomen, over abdomen or over trunk or nipple areas, like patient feeling band-like sensation. ऐसा लगे कि उसको पट्टे से बांध दिए पूरे around the abdomen and chest. It presents exact sensory level. And bladder symptoms: incontinence, difficulties in urination, retentions. Horizontal level of sensory loss, that is important. Horizontal level of sensory loss or exact sensory loss is found. Unilateral posterior column loss, pyramidal weakness, contralateral spinothalamic loss. Spinothalamic means loss of pain and temperature. Pain and temperature loss is contralateral side, opposite side. But posterior column loss, vibration sensation, and pyramidal is a same side. Pyramidal weakness or weakness of lower limb, posterior column loss means vibration sensation, that is loss in unilateral side. But pain and temperature, that is spinothalamic loss, is a contralateral, known as Brown-Sequard syndrome. Important for MCQ, Brown-Sequard syndrome. Motor systems depend on the level lesions. Example C3, C5 if cervical spine is in transverse myelitis in cervical spine, level is C3, C5 if present, then lead to quadriplegia. Quadriplegia means weakness. Weakness or paralysis of both upper and lower limb. Respiratory paralysis. If C4 is involved, respiratory paralysis, diaphragm supplied by C4. T1, T2 lead to spastic paraplegia. L1 and S5 lead to upper motor or lower motor neuron in lower extremities, bowel and bladder dysfunctions, urinary retention, mainly due to cervical, lumbocervical lesions. Spinal shock, sometimes in hyperacute stage, spinal shock present leg tacit and areflexia, then spasticity develop later after. Sensory systems, paresthesia, numbness, altered temperature sensation. Sometimes hermit sign is present, paresthesia in limb elicited by neck flexion. If neck is suddenly flexed, then patient complain pain over shoulder and pain radiating to upper limb and lower limb. That is a hermit sign. If neck is suddenly flexed, then patient complain pain radiate in upper limb and lower limb. That is hermit sign, mainly found in multiple sclerosis and transverse myelitis. Spinal cord level, if C4 is involved, diaphragm and shoulder elevators are affected. C5, shoulder flexor and abductor and elbow flexor is affected. C6 is a wrist extensor affected. C7, elbow extensor, triceps. C8, finger flexor, extensor and intrinsic muscles are affected. T1, T6, upper trunk muscle affected. T7, T12, lower trunk muscle affected. L1, L2 is a hip flexor. L1, L2 is a hip flexor. L3 is a knee extensor. L4, ankle dorsiflexor. And L5 is toe extensor. S1, S5, ankle plantarflexion, bowel and blade. If C4 injury, C3, C4 injury, then lead to quadriplegia. Quadriplegia means weakness of upper and lower limb. C6 injury lead to also quadriplegia. T6 injury lead to paraplegia. T6 thoracic spinal cord involved lead to paraplegia, not quadriplegia. Quadriplegia is seen in mainly cervical spinal cord is compression or fracture, lead to quadriplegia. Paraplegia is lead to thoracic and lumbar. Thoracic and lumbar spinal cord injury or any inflammatory disorder or transverse myelitis lead to paraplegia, not quadriplegia. Okay. Quadriplegia is mainly seen in cervical spinal cord myelopathy or compressive myelopathy or any traumatic. Autonomic dysfunctions like urinary urgency, incontinence, nocturia, urinary retention, patient complain urinary retention, before paralysis, bowel, urgency, incontinence, retention, sexual dysfunction, pain, burning, radicular pain, tight squeezing or band-like sensation, that is sensory symptoms, burning, radicular pain and tight squeezing and band-like sensation. Severe cases of ascending myelitis involve cervical spinal cord, may cause neurogenic respiratory failure. Longitudinal extensive transverse myelitis can produce hiccup due to involvement of medulla, persistent nausea, vomiting due to involvement of area posterior. Diagnostic criteria for transverse myelitis. Bilateral. Lesion is bilateral, not necessarily symmetric. Sensory motor, autonomic spinal cord dysfunctions. Clear defines sensory level. That is important for MCQ. Clear clearly defined sensory level is found in transverse myelitis, but clear sensory level sensory loss is not found in Guillain-Barré syndrome. Progressions to nadir of clinical deficit between 4 hours and 21 days after symptom onset. Demonstration of spinal cord inflammations, cerebrospinal fluid pleocytosis or elevated IgG index plus MRA revealing gadolinium enhancing cord lesion. Exclusion of compressive post-radiation neoplastic or vascular causes excluded. Transverse myelitis may be complete or transverse type. Complete transverse myelitis is usually longer, involve more than 3 vertebral segments and central, more than symmetric, decreases in motor sensory function associated with decreased sphincter function, bowel and bladder affected. Complete means longer lesion or longitudinal lesions, more than 3 vertebral segment involvement. Incomplete is a shorter, below 3 vertebral segment involved, peripheral lesions, and involving limited tract, usually incomplete loss of functions. Let us describe complete and incomplete. Classification based on spinal cord lesion characteristic. Acute partial transverse myelitis is a para-infectious asymmetric lesion. Typically, 1 or 2 vertebral segment is involved. 1 or 2 vertebral segment is involved is a partial, usually mild to moderate in severity, and develop high risk for multiple sclerosis when MRA reveals WM lesion compatible with demyelinations. Acute partial transverse myelitis associated with multiple sclerosis, MS, and longitudinal extensive transverse myelitis. Longitudinal extensive transverse myelitis is an asymmetric symmetric spinal cord lesion that span more than 3 contiguous vertebral segments. Longitudinal is a more than 3 contiguous vertebral segment involvement, usually moderate to very severe, most commonly associated with high risk for NMO spectrum disorder. NMO means David disease. Longitudinal extensive transverse myelitis is associated with neuromyelitic optica and NMO, neuromyelitic optica or David disease, in the setting of seropositive of aquaporin or NMO-IgG. Aquaporin seropositivity found in neuromyelitic optica or David disease. Important for remember, acute partial transverse myelitis is associated with multiple sclerosis, that is important, but longitudinal or extensive transverse myelitis is associated with David disease or also known as neuromyelitic optica. Complete cord syndrome associated with loss of all motor and sensory modalities below the level of lesions, associated with acute severe necrotizing myelitis, that is complete cord syndrome. Brown-Sequard syndrome is a partial or may be complete. Dysfunctions of corticospinal tract involvement, dorsal column symptoms, ipsilateral lesion, okay, corticospinal tract, pyramidal tract, and dorsal column system. Dorsal column relay vibrations, that is ipsilateral side, okay, involvement of ipsilateral or same side of paraplegia. But spinothalamic tract like pain and temperature, that is opposite side, seen in Brown-Sequard syndrome. Conus medullary syndrome can be associated with viral or post-viral myelitis syndrome. Conus medullary syndrome is basically upper motor neuron type of lesion, not a lower motor neuron lesion. Conus medullary is a upper motor neuron type of lesion. Upper motor neuron lesion means plantar is extensor, knees are exaggerated, ankle exaggerated, They find at the first occurrence of partial myelitis, the presence of 2 or more brain lesions indicate 88% chances of conversion to MS, multiple sclerosis. 88% chances of conversion to MS, multiple sclerosis in next 20 years. With normal MRI, risk is only 19%. In one study, 38% of patients with first episode of transverse myelitis were seropositive for NMO, neuromyelitic optica IgG, or aquaporin is positive. The risk of developing recurrent myelitis or new onset optic neuritis in patients with isolated longitudinal extensive transverse myelitis was more than 50% among those who were NMO IgG seropositive compared with 0 in those who were NMO IgG seronegative. About 25 to 40% cases of transverse myelitis are caused by viral infections. Frequency of transverse myelitis during or after varicella infection is reported 0.3%. Important for MCQ, NMO, neuromyelitic optica. NMO is a neuromyelitic optica, also known as David disease. The antibody is found aquaporin 4, that is water channel on astrocyte, aquaporin 4, that is water channel on aqua. In neuromyelitic optica present ophthalmoplegia plus neuromyelitic optica means or David disease means patient present with transverse myelitis first, second is ophthalmoplegia, and supportive criteria is longitudinal involvement, more than 3 vertebrae involvement, longitudinal extensive lesions, more than 3 vertebrae involved, plus MRI is normal, and aquaporin 4 antibody is present. That is for criteria for neuromyelitic optica. Essential criteria is neuromyelitic optica disease, patient present with transverse myelitis, ophthalmoplegia, that is essential criteria. Supportive criteria is longitudinal extensive lesions, more than 3 vertebrae is involved, MRI brain is normal, and aquaporin 4 antibody is present. Diagnosis is mainly clinical and radiological. Radiological mainly MRI. CSF study can be done for rule out etiology. Most commonly cerebrospinal fluid is abnormal in half of the patient with elevated protein, usually 100 to 120 milligram per 100 ml, and moderate lymphocytosis, usually below 100 ml cubic. Glucose level are normal. Oligoclonal band are usually not present. That is important for transverse myelitis or David disease. Oligoclonal band is absent. Oligoclonal band is absent in neuromyelitic optica or transverse myelitis, but oligoclonal band is present in multiple sclerosis. Oligoclonal band is characteristic feature of multiple sclerosis, not a David disease or transverse myelitis. Okay. Most common is a thoracic cord is involved. In transverse myelitis, most common cord involved is a thoracic cord is most frequently involved site. The MCQ for transverse myelitis. Thoracic spinal cord is most frequently involved. Next investigation is MRI spine. MRI spine shows here hyperdense lesion, that is a spinal cords. These are the spinal cords. Here, this is the longitudinal. This is the normal spinal cord. Now this is the hyperdense lesion. These are the hyperdense lesion. Involve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertebrae. Involve more than 3 vertebrae. That is a longitudinal extensive transverse myelitis. Mainly seen in David disease or neuromyelitis optica. That is severe case of transverse myelitis. This is the normal MRI. This is the white lesion, hyperdense lesion. White lesion is a longitudinal extensive more than 4 or 5 segment vertebral segment is involved. That is longitudinal extensive transverse myelitis. Next other picture. This is the normal spine. Here is a normal, but this is the rounded lesion. Involve only half or one vertebra only, not more than 3. That is a partial transverse myelitis. The clear picture, that is a rounded lesion. That is a partial transverse myelitis. That partial transverse myelitis further develop multiple sclerosis. Okay. These are the small size or partial transverse myelitis. Or treatment of choice for transverse myelitis is a glucocorticosteroid, mainly methylprednisolone. Treatment of choice for transverse myelitis is a methylprednisolone, 1 gram intravenous daily for 3 to 5 days. Methylprednisolone 1 gram IV for 5 days is a treatment of choice. Next treatment is plasma exchange or plasmapheresis. Other is cyclophosphamide, is an anti-cancer drug, may be useful in steroid unresponsive. If steroid is unresponsive, then other option is plasma exchange or plasmapheresis and cyclophosphamide. Patients tend to improve over several months, but maybe have residual defect. Mortality rate in excess 30% has been reported. Okay, treatment is a methylprednisolone corticosteroid. Next treatment is plasma exchange or plasmapheresis and cyclophosphamide. Prognosis of transverse myelitis. Most patients with idiopathic transverse myelitis have at least or partial recovery, which is usually begin within 1 to 3 months. Some degree of persistent disability is common, occur in about 40%. Okay, thank you. Any question from audience?